When it comes to travel, there are a lot of different accessories you can bring to help you stay organized, bring extra gear, or whatever it might be. But to me, there is one crucial accessory that will help you not only travel better, but also help you master one bag travel. And that is packing cubes. Let's talk about them. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my personal favorite packing cubes that I use for travel of any sorts. I typically and mainly do one bag travel, but I also want to say that these packing cubes will work for any type of travel, whether you're bringing a suitcase under the plane or just bringing a backpack on top of the plane. Well, maybe not on top of the plane, but you should be in the plane. If your backpack's on top of the plane, it's probably in the ocean, depending on where you're going. But these packing cubes, what I want to do, these are my personal favorites, and I want to highlight all the pros that they can offer you. Okay, and the first packing cube on this list is the one from Peak Design. Now, this is a compression packing cube, and the first pro is the materials and the durability. But I want to say this first about compression packing cubes, that depending on how you pack them out, you might end up with some wrinkled clothing. I personally like to roll my clothes to make sure that doesn't happen, but if you're not somebody that does that, you just want to be careful with how much you compress it, because in the past I have seen clothes get wrinkly. Or you can get clothing that doesn't wrinkle very well, which is today's sponsor, Western Rise. You can use discount code ODIE and check out some of their clothing. I use them all the time for travel and they don't wrinkle, but there's also a plethora of other types of clothing, brands, materials, types and stuff that you can use that will help you with travel. Or you can just roll your clothes, which is what I do when it comes to compression packing cubes, to avoid any unnecessary wrinkles. But also, you can check out Western Rise, that'd be great. So the first pro when it comes to the Peak Design packing cube is going to be the materials and the durability. When it comes to compression packing cubes, I have not found one that can really match the ability of this one. I am able to put way more than I realistically should in this, cinch it down, and it fit in pretty much any bag. Actually, this bag right here, the Bellroy Venture Ready, I have done one bag travel with by just using this packing cube for a 7-day trip, and then obviously some other accessories. So the durability and the compression factor on this are the two first major pros that I absolutely love when it comes to the Peak Design packing cube. And then the third pro that I really love about this Peak Design packing cube, because we're going to see how many times we can say that in this, is it has a dirty clothes pouch on the back. So if you're traveling somewhere and you're not bringing a laundry bag, which is something I definitely recommend, and you have some dirty clothes that you want to keep separate from the clean clothes you're bringing back, you can use this back pocket on this packing cube to keep them separate, so your clean clothes when you get back home aren't stinky and sweaty like the ones you did to climb Mount Fuji or go swimming with the sharks. I'm assuming we all have adventurous lives, because I definitely didn't go to Des Moines, Iowa 3 times last year. But overall, I think that the Peak Design packing cube is literally one of the best out there. It has great compression, great materials, very durable, and even though the zippers might look a little small, they can definitely handle a big load. Okay, the next packing cube on this list is a little bit different, as this is the one from Nest. Now this is like another compression packing cube. Now this goes from 5 liters to 10 liters if you leave it uncompressed according to their website, but this is a little different compared to some of the other ones that I'm talking about, because this one specifically is extremely good at weekend travel. So when it comes to the one from Nest, I like it for weekend trips because it's a little bit smaller, but the biggest pro, and one of the things that I really like about it, is the organization that it adds on the inside. In here you have 2 sides, one that is just like a mesh guide for regular clothes, and then on this side you can actually unzip this flap and it gives you some elastic bits for organization. Now personally, I have found this to be great for things like underwear, socks, smaller items, even rolling shirts and putting in these elastic bits, keeping them organized so everything that you have kind of has a place. Much like a tech organizer, this packing cube acts as a clothing organizer. But on top of that, when you get to where you're going, if you want to have full organization and full seeing ability of what you have, it also has a hook so you can hang it up and all of your clothing will be nice and laid out for you, so when you need to get what you're grabbing, you easily can. This is why I specifically like to use this when I'm only doing a weekend trip, because realistically, this is better for people that want to stay organized on smaller trips, as it can't bring as much as some of the other packing cubes I'm going to be talking about. But what you can bring with this is very easy to organize and keeps you very well organized, if I'm being honest. And then another pro about the Nest one is again going to be the materials. This thing is very durable. I love the way this thing feels. It feels very rugged, it feels very rigid, and it feels like it's going to hold up, especially if you decide that you want to compress this bad boy down and you want to make sure that everything fits. I also like it because it's kind of the same material as the Nest backpack that I got with this. So overall, if you're looking for a good weekend trip kind of packing cube, I would highly recommend this one. Now the next packing cube on this list is from Wakes, and they actually come in two sizes. You have like a medium and a small. Now, when it comes to packing cube sizes, I like to stick typically to like the size of this, or maybe even a little bit bigger. But some small packing cubes like this one can also be great if you don't want to use something like the Nest where it has built-in organization, and maybe you want to have a small packing cube for like your smaller items like underwear, socks, gym clothes, or whatever it might be, and then keep your larger items a little bit separate: pants, shirts, hoodies, whatever it might be. Or if you're going on business trips and you just want to keep things a little bit separate so you know where everything's at, then these Wakes ones are great because not only are they compression, but they also offer something a little different. If you leave them uncompressed, they actually have two sides that you can pack with. One up top that is like a gray side, and then they have a black side that also lets you organize. So if you wanted to leave these uncompressed, take up a little bit more space, but keep things a little bit better organized, the Wakes packing cubes also offer that ability as well. And even though they don't look like it with these zippers, which are YKK, you can actually fit quite a bit in here when you compress it without having to worry about damaging the zippers, which is also nice. You can't fit as much as you can in the Peak Design packing cube, but these as a combo have worked really well for larger items and keeping my smaller items separate. Okay, and the next one is going to be the Packed Packing Cube. Now, the biggest pro about this one for me is the fact that it's see-through. You have like a very small see-through, like nylon, almost mesh type of material here. And if you wanted to use a bunch of these, though they are not compression, you can easily see what's inside. So again, if you wanted to keep items separate, be a little bit more organized, or when you open up your suitcase, backpack, whatever it might be, you know what's in each one because you can clearly see it. On top of that, the material underneath is really nice. Also, you can fit a little bit more than you realize in these because there's a little bit of give, but not a lot. Packing these out is super nice. Not to mention the fact that they have really durable and nice zippers. And overall, this is just a really nice clear packing cube that is small, easy to organize, and allows you to see what's inside. Okay, now the last packing cube pairs perfectly with a bag that I'm absolutely obsessed with, but the packing cube on its own also does a good job. And I'm talking about these X-Pack packing cubes from Attitude Supply, which this one just happens to perfectly pair with the ATD2, which sometimes I just never shut up about. But we're not here to talk about that bag, we're here to talk about the packing cube because this is a lot more affordable than the bag. Why I love this packing cube is if I want to put everything in one packing cube, have it in one place, for whatever reason, maybe I'm bringing a bigger suitcase, maybe I'm checking a bag, or maybe my backpack just allows me to bring something this big while also keeping all my other items organized. This is pretty much what you want. The biggest pro and one of the main things that I love about this is the material. It's X-Pack, it's durable, you could throw this thing off of a mountain with your clothes in it and it's gonna hold up. On top of that, you've got really big, beefy YKK zippers with really nice zipper pulls that allow you to pack this thing out to the max. And on top of that, you have a handle to where if you get to where you're going and you need to kind of carry this thing around in your hotel room, you have a handle on either side. So pulling it in your bag, pulling it up out of your bag, however it might be, this thing allows you to do it. But in terms of how it does with your clothes, this is going to be good for those of us that just want to have all our clothes in one spot, not worry about it. You don't want a little bit of everything in one, a little bit of everything in another. You don't want to worry about compressing, which might result in wrinkled clothes. You just want one big beefy packing cube to put everything in. And this one from Attitude Supply has been one of my go-tos, not only when I'm using the ATD2, but also just when I'm using other larger one bag travel bags like the Manal Carry-On 3.0. Sometimes I even put this in the Mission Workshop Rake, or just in some larger like Wander duffel bags. Overall, this is going to be fantastic if you want just a large, durable packing cube that can pretty much fit everything you want. Okay, and the last thing I just want to say is that yes, these packing cubes might have a little bit of a larger price tag than some people like. That does not mean that you have to go with these. These could also just be used as a template to see things that you like, things you don't like, and you could find something that's a little bit more affordable that has good reviews on Amazon. I don't want to be misunderstood as saying that you have to spend a lot of money on any accessory or any bag or anything in order to make it work. These are just brands that I trust. These are durable materials. These are things that I have had for a very long time and have lasted. I have tried Amazon packing cubes in the past and they just don't hold up as well, or to me they just feel really, really cheap and I don't like using them. But that doesn't mean that you can't, because everybody's gonna travel different, everybody's gonna have a different travel budget, and with that, you just gotta use what's right for you. So if these aren't something that you want or you like or you can afford, maybe they can be used as a template and you can find something else on Amazon. And if you do, put it down in the comments below and let me know which one you end up going with. I'm always looking for new packing cubes to try. So if you find something else that works, whether it be one of these on Amazon or not, I would be definitely interested to know what it is. So with all of that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about any of the packing cubes I mentioned in this video, let me know down below and I'll do my very best to answer those for you. Thank you guys again so very much for all the love and support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all of that wonderful nonsense. And with all of that being said, I will see you next time.